Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the myfxsoftware.com Forex trading system. This is software premier trading strategies that you can plug directly into by simply adding your broker account. You don't have to install the software, no virtual private server, no technical setup. Let's get into the results that have been achieved overnight. And then what we'll do is we're going to do a little bit of manual trading with a $50 indicator that I purchased and basically is based off of support and resistance. So we'll do a little bit of manual trading. People love to do it. I don't really do it. I use it more for educational training purposes. Ultimately, the results you see that I'm going to show you right now on this Monday afternoon are trades that started when the market opened last night, Sunday night, Super Bowl night, and we'll move forward and we'll look at the results. The market is just ramping up. So let's dig into it. Now, what you see here on the screen is live open trades on my mobile device. And if you're brand new to this, certainly get in the comments and ask questions, because I'm going to run through this relatively quickly. What we're doing right now is we're looking at my full algorithm, 28 currency pairs. And it is, if you look at the top of the screen, it's using about $750 of the account to trade right now. And that's not really relevant to anyone individually because I'm bidding $1 per pip. Bids start at 10 cents per pip. So it scales and it's relevant to your account. I just want you to show you how this works. Now, there's probably a couple dozen trades open. They're all very active right now. What has happened is it's Monday afternoon. So the market opened on Sunday night at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And the market, as it typically does on a Monday, we got some trade closures, and then the New York market, London market opened, and all of the orders were dumped. So, meaning they dumped a lot of money into the market. So these orders are just kind of sitting here. As far as closures go, we've closed, and again, bidding what I'm bidding. You could bid more, you could bid less, you could trade more trades, you could trade 28 pairs or less than 28 pairs. You could trade one pair, and I do have results of what it would look like if you traded one pair. We'll look at that next. And all of the different software systems that you have access to at myfxsoftware.com. So you can see here, if you look at the bottom of the screen, it's closed $204.88 worth of profit. Again, it's at $1 per pip bid. You can see that red trade over there, the GBP Swiss franc, a minus $5.18. That's not actually a loss because that was a basket of trades. If you look at the trade above that, in fact, two trades above that, it was actually $6.99 profit and a $17.48 profit. So that all ends in a net profit. So essentially, I would call all of the trades that closed overnight, I would call that a no loss setup there and nothing but net profit. So again, I show you this because this is the overall system, and this system is scalable. I don't want you to look at this and say to yourself, well, to you, $204 profit overnight is not enough, right? It's not about that. You could scale this to 10x or 100x of that, or you could scale it down to 1x of that. You could have made $20 instead of $200. So I just want you to understand it's fully scalable. Let's go on to the next results. We'll look at this exact same software, but the next results are software that are only trading one or two pairs at a time. So here we are, some weird market movement overnight, but a $600.85 profit. We traded, this particular software trades my exact same main algorithm, but it trades just one or two pairs at a time. Right now we're trading one pair, and there was a lot of activity, so we got a lot of trades last night. You can see that the system got out of a few trades because, frankly, Sunday night, Monday morning movement is usually just a little bit weird, so it protected us. It got out. Still, it doesn't matter. It's all automated. It's still at a $600 net profit. Here's the next set of trades. This is from my index and metals software, trading gold, US 30, SPX, and NAS. And the market was acting a little bit weird. We did hold a gold trade over the weekend. So you can see it there. Took 5 total trades with a basket profit, and then just a little bit of movement on SPX and NAS to be right around just a little over $4,000 total profit. I took this screenshot this morning because there's other trades in play, and they have not closed out yet. So the trades you're seeing here, you would get these exact trades if you plugged into my software, and you would get them at the bid that's relevant to your account. If you have a smaller account, you're going to bid less. You have a bigger account, you're going to bid more. But nonetheless, it all ends in a net profit to the trading account, assuming you've managed everything on your end properly. Now, we do have other software systems, but there are no results from them overnight. Again, it's Sunday into Monday. Not a lot of movement. We'll see the most movement starts to ramp up on Tuesday. We'll see the most movement on Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm going to do a video at least Monday, Wednesday, Friday through the week, and we'll show you those results. However, for entertainment purposes, I'm not much of a manual trader. I have everything automated on all of my accounts, but I know that people come into the Forex market and they want to learn how to trade. One of the best ways to manually trade, if you want to manually trade, I don't do it, not really into it. It's the point being is it's not needed. Every strategy, every concept can be automated, and that's what I've done with my multitude of premier Forex trading strategies and software. So let's go look at the MQL5 website. I'll show you the indicator we're going to use, and I'll talk about my belief in it and what you could do. It's going to be very simple. Again, manual trading is staring at charts. It's quite boring, but I'm going to show you that if you want to do that, here is a way to do that. I'm going to give you some essentially educational value today. So here I am on the MQL5.com website, and one of the big things that I have certainly solid belief in is what's called support and resistance trading. And people open up a chart, they mark out where the support and resistance areas are of the price. And I don't really like to do that manually. You might as well get a really good indicator, and I have no affiliation with this particular indicator. I purchased it to be able to show you something that, you can do manual trading, but you also don't have to manually do everything and kind of guess at it. So support and resistance, and there's a lot of other things in this particular indicator. Support and resistance is one way to go, and it shows high level, low level screener, pullback zones, intraday pivots, so on and so forth, swing pivots. What we're going to do is I'm going to take you over to my virtual private server and show you where I have this indicator, and we'll take a trade, and throughout the week you can come back and watch my video updates and you can see how it turned out. I'm not saying it'll turn out anyway. I'm saying there's certainly a skill set to managing a trade. So let me take you over to the virtual private server. We'll take a look at this exact indicator on the chart. So here we are up on a virtual private server. I have the indicator installed that I just showed you on the MQL5 marketplace. We're looking at USD JPY. If you can't see that, it's probably a little small on the screen. And we're looking at the 1 hour time frame. So what I did was, if I right click and I go to indicators list and I look at the settings here, a lot of different settings. I literally am just activating the support and resistance setting, and everything else I left at default. So nothing complex here, nothing special, nothing secret. However, as we zoom in here, it's pretty clear on this USD JPY 1 hour chart, and you can put it on any time frame. We'll zoom back and forth between the time frames. But what this is showing me right here is there's a huge resistance zone, this red bar, and it's indicating that you could potentially 50-50 chance buy and have some sort of winning trade. Where is it going to go to? There's a small resistance zone at the top here, and then another one, and then a really big, they're basically shown thicker areas that is more persistent and consistent resistance. So what would we do? We would place a buy trade. Like, that's it. We just place a buy trade. I know people, I don't trade this way, but I know people are like, well, you got to set a stop loss, 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Yeah, great. Or manage the trade. And when I say manage the trade, which we'll do, and I'll do, so that's why you can come back and watch the update to this particular trade. Here we are, what is it, Monday, February, I think it's 9th. Am I right? I'm looking, yeah. Monday, February 9th. And you can come back. I'll do a video on Wednesday. I'll do a video on Friday. We can look at how this trade plays out. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not going to hover over it, but here's the deal. If the trade goes against me in the downward direction after I place a buy here, then I will simply scale in and add another trade. I will scale in and add another trade where the normal losing trader, not trying to be rude, but people, if you set a stop, you take a loss. Let's just be clear. Set a stop, take a loss. So what I'm going to do here is we'll simply place a buy trade. This is like, again, this is not live funds. These are demo funds. I'm not suggesting you take a trade or not take a trade. But the point is I'm going to go ahead and take a trade, and let's open this up here. Let's do it at a relatively high lot size. Let's do 1.0 or $10 per pip. And you know what? It's a $100,000 account. Let's go more than that, just so I can show some good results. Let's go 5.0, so $50 per pip, and I'm going to click the buy button, and it's making me agree to the terms because I have not done manual trading on this, so I'll hit buy again. So we are in a buy trade. Pretty simple. You can see it's $3 and $6 in drawdown right now. Now, what I'm going to do, because I understand where the resistance areas are at the top, is I'm going to drag, just so I can kind of have a little bit of automation here, I'm going to drag my buy line up here, and you know what? We'll set it at this higher level of resistance. Let's set it right there. And when I hover over this with my mouse, it'll tell me that the profit will be, if it reaches that area, the profit will be, says $6,766 at a $50 per pip buy. 5.0. So this is pretty simple. I'm not making any promises here. I think one of the most important things you can do, if you're one of those people that just has a passion for sitting in front of the charts and watching the charts, then this is the way to do it. Now, you'll also hear me talk a lot about how I think this is just a little bit crazy to do this, because all of this can be automated. I can't reference any right now, but I'm absolutely certain that if I was so in love with support and resistance trading, which is basically the only way I would do it manually, if I was so in love with support and resistance trading, I would go have an EA or a robot coded that just does it for me. Pretty simple. And what's interesting about automation, especially with my FX software system, is that you can be in multiple trades, dozens of trades at a time, and everything's being managed. For you to do that manually and just go back and forth between chart after chart after chart after chart, it'd be a little insane. Let's open up another chart and another currency pair. Let's look at GBP USD. I'll open the chart window, and what we'll do is we'll customize it here. And you know what I will do? Let's go back to what I had here, and let's save this as a template. That way, when I open other charts, I'm just going to save it as default. That way, when I open up the charts, like I just did with GBP USD, let's close that down. When I open up a chart, it should ultimately make that chart look like what we're doing here. So let's go back to Market Watch, GBP USD. Let's open it, and there we are. So that's looking at the 1 hour. Not a lot of large support and resistance lines, but you can see here, if you were going to trade this, we're really waiting for the price action in this particular case to push up and at least touch one of these lines and see if you're getting a pullback. Now, what we can do is we can look at some of the lower time frames. Let's go right down to the 1 minute. Nothing apparent there. Not a lot of large support resistance areas. Let's go to 5 minute. Nothing really there. 15 minute. It looks like GBP USD is pretty stable. Yeah, you can see here that they called a support area with this simple thin red line, and you could have done a buy right there, and you would right now be in, let's measure here, you'd be in about 1,081 points or 100 pips. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I basically read into this, I read into this indicator. One of the things you want to do is you want to make sure that an indicator does not repaint. So you wouldn't want to see this red support line and then 5 candles later it's gone. That's called repaint. This particular indicator does not have repaint. I've already looked at it because I don't want an indicator that will be like, I think it's here, and then I take a trade, and then 5 candles later or a couple hours later, that was a bad indication and it was completely wrong. I don't like that. This indicator does not do that. Let's look at just maybe one more currency pair. Let's go to the Market Watch. I'm going to show all pairs, and let's look at maybe something more volatile. Let's look at potentially maybe GBP NZD. Yeah, so here we are. So a little bit more of a big mover. What time frame? We're on the 1 hour time frame here. And yeah, it actually looks pretty good. It's at a support area, not a very strong support area, but you can see there's a lot of strong resistance areas at the top here. Potentially in a buy trade. You can see the trade that we've already went into down in the terminal below is just over $100 in profit right now. Could you scalp trade with this type of indicator? You absolutely could. Let's look at some of the lower time frames and see if it gives us any bit of a zoom in. Doesn't really. Let's look at the higher time frames. Hour time frame, 4 hour time frame is really pretty good for support and resistance. We can look at the daily. Obviously not ready for a trade, but you can see support at the bottom here, very strong support and strong resistance at the top. So one of the nice things about this indicator, and I'm not promoting it, I don't make any money off of that. I know that you guys love manual trading. Again, I don't know why, but let's dig into it here. It's really pretty simple. You can learn, and we'll use this probably for quite a while. Each week we'll look at this, we'll look at different pairs. If you guys want to engage in the comments and say, hey, let's take a trade on this pair, or maybe if you're using this indicator, let's take a trade on this pair, and we can do that. And then you can see my management skills, which are typically scaling into a trade. Yeah, I took a pretty big lot size there, 5.0, $50 per pip. But I also kind of want to show you the results. And if it goes against me, I want to show you how hard it's going against me and how to manage that. You can see one of the things that I trade with is margin level percent down at the bottom. So the current margin level percent on this account is 9,900. It's great. It looks good. It feels good. Plenty of room to scale into more trades on, where were we over here? USD, JPY. So it doesn't mean, it's $100, $128 profit now. It doesn't mean it's not going to pull back. It doesn't mean that we don't have to enter another trade, but let's see over time how accurate this is. Really, you only have to be about 51% accurate, especially if you're managing trades and or hanging into your winners, hanging onto your winners and getting out of your losers earlier, or, scaling in and playing the game. So that's it. I'm going to stop there. You saw the results today. Pretty slow, medium slow market. You'll see me again on Wednesday. We'll look at this trade. We'll look at how it played out. Maybe I'll just let it just continue to play out. If it pushes up and hits this take profit line that I put up here, it'll just take profit. We'll be in like over $6,000 profit on this test trade. And yeah, it should be simple, pretty easy. So stay tuned. If there's certain pairs that you want to trade or questions that you have, engage in the comments below by all means, and I will answer everything. And we'll really build something here that not only allows you what I think is the easiest trading, myfxsoftware.com, where you just plug your trading account into the cloud-based software, or we can do some of this manual trading, random trading, trade management, and just move forward and get this skill set handled for you. If you go to myfxsoftware.com right now, it's going to take you directly to my Telegram channel. I post daily results and updates and engagement. And you can also privately message me right there on Telegram, and or we can get on a phone call if you want to talk about this stuff. And then from the Telegram group, you can get off into join, or have the ability to join the group and get access to all of the automated software. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.